So welcome to Summer Solstice 2021. You'll be thinking, hang on a second, what's this got to do with my recovery? Well, the point I'm trying to make here is the ebb and flow of life, our nature, our human nature. As humans, we're such an unusual species. We try and place control over things we cannot control. We define our months and define our seasons, not as in when they come, but by defined months. So for this year, we always say it's March, April, May. However, nature changed. Nature was colder and wetter, that the birds didn't nest till later. The flowers didn't bloom till later. Spring did not begin until the end of May this year and the first few weeks of June. So no matter what we want to call it as humans, the nature still did and came as it needed to. Not because we try to define it. Same for time of day, we try and do daylight saving hours. I remember my little boy saying, well, the sun will still rise when it wants to, doesn't it? So what's the point in calling it something different time? I laughed. I said, well, to be honest, humans are a bit weird sometimes. We like to feel like we can control things that we can't control. And I think a big part of what people who we struggle as humans is because we're trying to control things we cannot. And it's not to feel, so letting go of control is a disempowering thing, but an acceptance. Like at this time of year and the light and the daylight hours are longer, my boy, since he's been a baby, come what may this time of year, no matter we do blackout blinds, we do calming routines, we do no screens, until the sun begins to set, he does not get sleepy. And I've tried everything, and food and serotonin building food, melatonin building food, does not matter. And in the end, I stopped fighting against it and just went, okay, for these next few months, it's a bit later bedtime than normal. But he goes to bed happier, he sleeps longer, and is more content. And there's less stress. This is about glowing with the nature. At the moment, we're in this solstice, and it's a time where the flowers, after the big bloom, will start coming to seed, and we'll start noticing that. And the nourishment falls back again to the earth to be absorbed. And I think it's time for us to reflect about ourselves. What is alive in others? What is our force of nature? And what we generally like and is who we are. Not because someone says that we should be good at that or what we should like, but what is our nature and acceptance of that. Now, I love watching these sewing programs and people creating beautiful things. But I find it mind-numbingly boring trying to do it myself. I haven't got the patient detail, I don't like it. However, I love getting up at the crack of dawn, doing yoga, working out, and getting really challenged. Other people that have an idea of hell, but that's just the nature of who I am and what I love to do. The Serenity Prayer talks about an acceptance of things you cannot change, and I think this goes on about the nature that we have and the ebb and flow of life. And I think, going back to my early days, I saw a little bit of that as being a quitter, saying, well, I'm not going to quit something. But it's not about that. It's almost going back to being like, not expecting a bird to thrive living underwater. Not expecting a fish to thrive living in a tree. It's not its nature. And you can't judge it upon that. And I think too many times we judge ourselves, our bodies, our minds, what we're good at, upon stringent points in time that as humans, as a collective, on somewhere along the lines to do with maybe it's profit and we bought into that, but we all have our own personal power, we've all fed into it, these stringent guidelines of what should be at the time, regardless of our nature. And what I'm saying, big part of recovery is about getting in touch with your own nature. So today with summer solstice coming, just take a few minutes just to reflect, and not emotional, just even laugh at some things you'll think about that you may not have realised that you're fighting against your own nature, and just do something that just feels good to you. And this is part of the ebb and cycle of life. So today as a human animal. Just relish the fact that we've got this light today, the longest day. And not worry so much about what the clock says for tonight. Checking the time to have dinner at this time, bed at this time. Just feel into it and just see what it feels like. I think part of that with feeling and recovery and this process is about learning to feel again and feel everything. And same with nature. There'll be times when it's darker and times when it's lighter, and it's still nature. It's still as good at either end. So yeah, that's it for today. I just wanted to bring you that little nugget of information and things that I'm just thinking of and learning at the time. So take care. See you next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.